I just recommend the last name.
Yeah.
I'd like to call this meeting of the Princeton City Council to order. Clerk, call the roll.
Mayor Mabry.
Here.
Councilmember Newman.
Here.
Gomez. Here. McCall. McCransky.
Here. Would you please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're going to go ahead now and go to public comment. We have public comment period at the beginning of the meeting as well as at the end. And we'll start out. We're excited. The Princeton Lions Club is going to give us an update on the Christmas parade. Jim Argo, please. And Vanessa. Right there, both of you. And that microphone should be on. You gotta be quiet.
Can you hear me?
Just talk a little louder, Jim.
1, 2, 3.
Just talk a little louder, Jim.
1, 2, 3. Good evening. My name is Jim Argo with the Princeton Lions Club. Teresa, you say your last name.
Vanessa.
Vanessa
Hopkins. I'm the Bureau County Food Pantry Manager.
And she is part of our committee. The Princeton Lions Club has done this parade, Christmas parade, for years, probably for about 40 years. It's always been a day parade. This year we're going to a night lighted parade. And we have had a lot of enthusiasm throughout the community. We just hope they show up for the parade all lighted up. I left put a flyer on in front of you of the events going on the 1st and 2nd of December. We have several things going on. On that Friday, we start out with the lighting of the Christmas tree at Veterans Park and the arrival of Santa at 6 o'clock, and then at 6:30 the parade will take off from the Covenant Church here and go down to Soldiers and Sailors Park. After the parade, there is a candy cane hunt, which is always fun to watch the kids out there with their flashlights looking for candy canes. And then on Saturday, we have activities. The first thing that would be going on is the breakfast with Santa. And what time is that start?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. From 11 to 2, we have Santa's workshop going on. This is all out at the fairgrounds. And there's a lot of activities going on out there, and they can take home different decorations, snowflakes, all kinds of stuff. And it's for kids and families. We have a backpack that we pack from the Lions that has a lot of different things from the community that they donate to us for that. Then after the workshop, as you know, Jenica is working on the displays. What time does that start? 5?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So there are a lot of things going on now. Those first 2 days of December. We would like to have as much participation from the city as we could. Each department we'd love to see. We'd love to see the city council, mayor, in the parade. We do have Hector is going to be in with the color guard. So we are looking very much forward to this. This committee that we have used to be Lions, and of course, as everything goes, it's harder and harder to get new members, and it was just getting too big for us. So we looked to the community, and the community with the chamber and different ones said they would help with us. And that's how we have evolved from just the Christmas parade to the whole weekend. And our committee is made up of line members Jason Allen, Scott Smith, and myself. We have Adam Lynn from the Emergency Management Team. We have Tom Kramer from the Police Department. We have Pat Lilly from the Moose. We have David Kleinfelder from Liberty Village. We have Lynn Oles from Greenfield. So we have a very variety committee. It's very active. It's very fun to work with. Also Vanessa is on there. And one of our goals for the Christmas parade had started out working for the food pantry, collecting donations and promoting that for the community. So on the back of your flyer is about the food pantry, and I'm going to let Vanessa talk about that.
Thanks, Jim. Well, thank you for letting me talk about the food pantry. I always like to talk about what we do. We couldn't do what we do without people like the Lions supporting us. And as Jim said, this parade has been around for a long time with the goal of collecting food for the food pantry and financial donations. So for those of you who have the flyer on the back, there are some numbers I put in there. For the first 8 months of this year, our food pantry has served 1,792 households and provided food to 3,670 individuals. We're on a record pace. This is even more than what we had served during the pandemic. With inflation being so high, food costs going up, heating costs going up, we're having a lot of families who are having difficulty making ends meet and stretching their dollars, and they are looking to us as a food pantry to serve them. During the pandemic, we started a program called the Second Helping Program that enabled households to come in every week. Normally, our food pantry would distribute food at least one time a month to households. During the pandemic, we started that weekly distribution as well. So they get what's called a full order of food that they get to pick and choose one time a month, and then every week we have additional food items that those households receive. So any donations we receive from this food drive and any donations that we receive that are financial will be used to continue to support our efforts to do the Second Helping Program because it's needed now more than ever. And just so the council is aware, I would say 85 to 90% of those household numbers that I gave you are from Princeton. We serve 10 communities, but Princeton being our largest community. So these are your fellow citizens that are experiencing challenges with food insecurity and making ends meet. So we are very thankful that the Lions Club and all of the members of this committee continue to support us in the work that we do. So in addition to collecting food, I'll have my vehicle lighted up. We'll be collecting food at the point where people can register. So a donation to the food pantry is being asked. If you're going, there's no cost for you to put a float in the parade or light a bike up or walk with lights on yourself. Just a food donation is all that you have to do. We'll also have collection containers out in the community to collect food. We'll be collecting food from November 14th through about December 14th. And then also any financial donations on the day of Santa's workshop, we will have a container there to also collect food for the food pantry so we can purchase food items from our food bank. So we could not do it. It takes the community to support fellow citizens of our community, and so we're very thankful to everyone on the committee. It's a fun group. I would say, I'll just put a plug in here, Jim. If anybody wants to join us, the more the merrier. Am I not right? Right? We've been meeting since, Jim would say it, we've been meeting since March to work on this. And every year, in recent years, it has grown. So to be able to do a lighted parade and to be able to do this amazing workshop for the kids, I think we figured last year we had about 300 children that came through Santa's workshop. So there's hot dogs, there's chips, there's free popcorn, there's going to be live reindeer, all kinds of stuff happening for families to come out.
That's really nice.
Council, any questions, comments?
One thing, did I mention you, Jenica? on the committee.
Jeanette.
Jenica is also on our committee, and another person that's working with us is Tim Bessonette, who used to work at MTM. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you on the 1st and the 2nd.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, Jim. And I'll take you up in that challenge since I'm laid off now from watering flowers. We will put the gator in the parade. How's that sound? Yeah.
Jim, you have forms with you, Jim? I told you he'd have forms with him.
That's great. If you stick around in just a few minutes, we get to another segment of the council. We're going to have a report from the Wesleyan Church on their Christmas toy drive that intertwines with what you're doing. So thank you, Jim, and thank you to the Lions Club, and thank you, Vanessa and Jenica. We look forward to this.
And Tom.
And Tom Cameron. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak public comment, or you can wait till after the meeting or at the end of the meeting and speak then? Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on now to the rest of our council meeting. So, Jerry, if you would.
I move that we approve the minutes from our regular council meeting on October 16th, 2023.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
Mabry.
Aye.
Mayor Mabry, that is.
Okay.
His honor.
Okay. We good?
Okay.
Now we'll go to invoices.
Yeah. Next on the agenda is the payment of invoices. For this period in the Department of Accounts and Finances, we have invoices totaling $117,678.84. In the Department of Public Property and Utilities, we have invoices totaling $870,642.74. In the Department of Streets and Public Improvements, we have invoices totaling $630,559.73. And in the Department of Public Safety, we have invoices totaling $377,682.94, for a grand total of $1,996,564.25. Mayor, all council members present have confirmed their reviews of all invoices and now are submitted for disposition.
I move that we approve the invoices as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any questions or comments from the council?
It's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. Yeah, for 2 weeks. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
Mayor Mabry.
Aye.
Next on the agenda is Ordinance O-23-017. This is the second and final reading of an ordinance accepting improvements on East Century Drive. Mayor, all council members have reviewed this ordinance and it is submitted for disposition.
I move that we approve Ordinance O-23-017.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments from the council? Seeing none, clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
Mayor Mabry.
Aye.
Next on the agenda is Ordinance O-23-018. This is an ordinance authorizing the sale of property no longer useful to the city of Princeton. And this is the first reading. Mayor, all council members have reviewed this ordinance and it is submitted for disposition.
I move that we advance Ordinance O-23-018 to the second reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions, comments? And Teresa, would you elaborate on that?
Sure. As everybody is probably familiar by now, every once in a while we'll have a time period to have the departments go through some of their excess equipment that's no longer needed, or it's equipment that we've replaced or it's become obsolete because of technology or whatever. So in your packet you have a picture of most of the items that are in there. You have a description of them, everything from vehicles to cell phones to printers, all of that type of stuff. So take a peek if there's anything of interest. We'll get this out to the public so they can make some bids if they'd like to. But it is all stuff that department heads have said we no longer need, and I'm all for getting rid of some of the excess stuff we have sitting around. So.
Very good. Thank you, Teresa. With that said, clerk, call roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
Mayor Mabry.
Aye.
Next on the agenda is Resolution R-23-021. This is a resolution seeking an IDOT permit for road closure on a portion of Main Street during the Christmas parade. Mayor, all council members have reviewed this resolution, and it is submitted for disposition.
I move that we approve Resolution R-23-021.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments from the council? Seeing none, clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
Mayor Mabry.
Aye.
Next on the agenda is Resolution R-23-022. This is a resolution authorizing the sale of real estate no longer useful for the city of Princeton at 429 East Washington Street. Mayor, all council members have reviewed this resolution, and it is submitted for disposition.
I move that we approve Resolution R-23-022.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and either Pete or Teresa, we just give the Reader's Digest version of how we came across this property and why we're selling it.
We came across this property because the back wall on the north side was off the house. And we found that to be incompatible with human habitation. It was vacated for quite some time prior to that. And we petitioned the court to receive ownership of it in order to demolish it and put it back in production. So that's what we're doing now.
Very good, thank you. So the plan is that if we take this vote, we will go ahead and get this empty vacant lot on the market, and I'm sure we'll be using the local realtor, somebody to help us with this marketing. Is that with the plan, Teresa? How do
Yeah, we'll discuss.
We'll discuss that one step at a time.
Yeah, one second.
Okay, let's do that. Very good. Okay, very good. We have a motion second. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
Mayor Mabry.
Aye.
Next on the agenda is Resolution R-23-023. This is a resolution supporting the expansion of solar energy collection through the IMEA and the city of Princeton. Mayor, all council members have reviewed this resolution and it is submitted for disposition.
Do we have a motion?
I move that we approve Resolution R-23-023.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments from the council? This would be on that piece of land of the secondary location that now is our primary location out by we call it the transfer station site.
Did you get a response at all from your letter from the IMEA on your enthusiastic response to want to do this?
Actually, that is a good question. So the gentleman's name on there, is it Kevin?
Kevin Gaden?
Kevin Gaten. So he's the president of the IMEA, and he called me the very next day and he thanked the council for their unanimous support, and he's real excited in a positive way. They're going to, the other two communities that had tried to get a solar project last year, Oglesby, and there's another community, I can't think of the name, they also are going to resubmit for a request for proposals, so we're all going to be trying again. So he's excited, he's positive, and we told him we're positive.
Good.
Thanks, Jerry. Okay, we have a motion and second. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
Mayor Mabry.
Aye, thank you. Now we're on to the city manager report. Thank you, Pete.
Very brief. On the back of your packet there is the police pension report for September of 23. Just a one page there. Also, just keep in mind, Friday we will be closed in observance of Veterans Day here at City Hall, which also means garbage, if you're normally picked up on Friday, will be picked up on Monday. So keep that in mind.
Anything else, Teresa? No. Okay, very good. Okay, we're on to the mayor's report. I'm going to step down to the podium for that. Okay, so for this evening, as we think about November 11th as Veterans Day, I'd like to honor the veterans that are in the room this evening. And we're going to start with our own city council. We're pretty heavy on veterans here. We'll start out with Council Member Hector Gomez. He served as a Marine, he served in the Army, and he also served out his time in the National Guard. And how many years did you have in, Hector, total?
27.
27. So he served with George Washington as well. So we kid Hector, but just take 3 branches of the military he served under for 27 years. Hector, we appreciate your service. And we're going to move on now to Marty McCransky. And Marty served in the Air Force full time. And how many years did you have in, Marty?
21.
21 years. Great. And then our attorney, John Isaacson, was in the Air Force.
One branch.
Only one branch. Right. And our attorney, John Isaacson, served in the Air Force. John, you worked for how many years?
3 years and 7 months to the day.
Very good. We appreciate all 3 of your services. And Jerry Newman, please.
Marine Corps for 6 years total.
6 years total in the Marine Corps. That's great. And I had 27 years in all Army Reserve time. So we'd like to do this. We want to congratulate them first in our account. And then we'd like to see if there's anybody else in the audience here that's a veteran tonight. Is there any veterans in the audience? Okay, let's start out. We got Jim Argo. And Jim, you served what branch?
I was in the U.S. Navy for 4 years.
Great. We appreciate that. And then hold your applause. And then back to the back, Bob Davidson.
Was the Army 2 years.
And during the Vietnam War.
Right.
On the ground in Vietnam. Right. That's right.
Recon too.
On the ground, yeah. Any other veterans in the audience? Okay, let's give them a round of applause. When I was overseas for a tour, Bob Davidson sent me a letter, and I sure enjoyed getting that letter. And we had a little conversation back and forth with a letter about his tour of duty on the ground in Vietnam and what he saw. So we appreciate all veterans. So let's go on now to Positively Princeton. Tonight we have Pastor Doug Kirkpatrick. He's with the Princeton Wesleyan Church, and he's going to talk about the program that they've had now for 10 years called Christmas for Kids. So Doug, if you'd like to please come forward, I'd like to have you over here at the podium, please.
Thank you, Mayor and council members. As he said, my name is Doug Kirkpatrick. I'm the pastor of the Princeton Wesleyan Church, and we've had Christmas for Kids under our umbrella for the last 10 years, but it was also here in town. Previous to that, the United Way had it up to 10 years ago, and then we took it over. Gail Hart, who is with me, is our current director. But even though the Christmas for Kids is underneath the umbrella of the Wesleyan Church, it is a community effort, an organization. We're a small church, not a lot of resources, but we have a building, and we have some people who are excited about serving. And so the church members took this on, and we couldn't do it without the community, other organizations, groups, many people individually giving their time and their energy and their money as well. We have served about 400 children per year as an average. Some was up to 550 one year, some were a little bit below that, but none below 350 children per year. And this is from birth to 8th grade. That's the niche that we serve. We have a lot of people who have served as volunteers. They've come back, and we have one lady who came back who with a truckload of toys, and she donated them to Christmas for Kids because she was served by Christmas for Kids, and she wanted to give back, and she wanted to participate and keep the ball rolling, so to speak. And we've had several volunteers who come and help because of the same reason. We partner with organizations in this community, such as Our Table, Tri-County Opportunities. In the past, we've worked with the Elks Clubs, joining together to help the kids, the families that needed just a little bit of extra help at Christmas time. How this works is it's already pretty much in high gear. In fact, it's pretty much in high gear all year. Once the event happens, they start planning, the group, and starts planning for the next year. And especially when the toys are on sale in January, we have people that like to shop. And so they take the donations that we have and go out and shop for kids and tuck it away until the Christmas season. We receive both toys and monetary donations. We have 42 donation boxes around the county. 2/3 of them are in the city of Princeton itself. And it's people come by, they put a new unwrapped toy in there, or they give donations monetarily. We have an account at a local bank that people can just come in and put money into that account. And it's all under the umbrella of the Wesleyan Church, so it is a nonprofit donation. The Princeton Police Department and the Sheriff's Office both help support this through, as officers have time going around and gathering the toys when there's no calls going on, they just take them and bring them to a location where they're organized and put together and separated and getting ready for the event. It really is a truly a community affair. We have individuals that give hundreds of hours to that throughout the year, and it's not just because it's not just our church. It's the spirit of giving and joining. Just was saying with the Lions Club, people are giving, and Vanessa with the truck. This community cares about itself, about each other, and they help when the need is there. And so we had some hiccups come along as the whole rest of the world when COVID hit, and we had some ladies. Gail was the one who's in charge, and some others on the committee. How can we do COVID? How can we help kids with all the restrictions of COVID? But man, they came up with a new way of doing it, of having an event, of being able to give the toys out to the families, and it was all according to the Department of Health. We went through the Department of Health regulations. How can we do this? And so we had to expend some. There were some what do they call it? Isolation times where nobody could touch. You had to have that time. We added some of that in there. But Gail and her group devised a way that met those requirements, and were still able to provide for those kids that needed that little extra help. And those processes are actually really good processes. And so even though we come out of COVID, we still use those processes, so they're so good. So I just wanted to share this about what is something that's good going on. It is happening now. We've started toy drives. Last Saturday, I was out here in front of the fire department area, and we were collecting toys and monetary donations. There's going to be another one at Tractor Supply this Saturday, and there's a couple more in a couple extra weeks where people can stop by and do this. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that I could bore you for 2 hours on, but that's kind of the highlights of what we have going on now through the Christmas for Kids. So,
not boring.
Council, any questions?
That's great. Yeah. Thanks for doing all that. That's wonderful.
It was something that we did, and I was the director for a few years, and I stepped aside because a better person came in and was able to do it better than I could, and I did. So, I just want to thank the city for all the support that they've given us and all the organizations. We've had 60 individual businesses support Christmas for Kids, and just hundreds of individual. So, thank you very much.
I believe what you're doing is great for community children, which everyone knows that there will be a future for. But specifically during COVID, because during those times of isolation, that was really hard for all individuals that were used to being free to have to stay in isolation. So thank you for what you did.
It's our pleasure.
Great, very good. That's good stuff. We're going to shift gears for a moment and talk about a very positive thing going on here in Princeton. There's a business that is a family-run business that employs a lot of people in Princeton. They're one of those kind of quiet little businesses, but yet they're out and about everywhere with their orange and white and blue trucks, and that would be Taylor's Way. And tonight we have Josh Taylor here. He's here representing his family business. They just celebrated 50 years in business, and he's going to give us a little history of the company and where they're going. We just wanted to welcome Josh. Come on up. We're glad to have you. Glad to have you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor and council members, and thank you to you guys, Pastor and Wesleyan Church. That's amazing work you guys do, and I can honestly say I didn't really know about it, but I hope that we can happily, be a part of that as well and start to donate. Because that's an amazing cause that you guys do. Yeah, and it's a testament to how many organizations and non-for-profits that this community supports. So a testament to you guys. So like Mayor said, we are a family business. We've been in business for 50 years. My parents, Buster and Kay, started it. Actually, my dad started it with his dad, Phil, which some of you may or may not know. And they, it was probably even longer than 50 years, but we called it 50 years because we couldn't really come up with an exact date at the time. So, hey, this is a good time to celebrate 50, right? And so my dad was actually in college as studying aeronautical engineering and was about a semester or two away from graduating. And they ran into some family problems, if you know anything. He's one of 11 kids, so a lot of mouths to feed. And so he came back and helped kind of out the family and my grandpa, and that just evolved into a passion for the greens industry now that we have evolved into many things. And actually, we don't even do mowing services, which is what they originally started in. So it has been quite an evolution. And something really, really neat to see that journey throughout time. My dad was one of the first in the state that actually became licensed to do applications to lawns, as far as like spraying lawns for fertilization, weed control. Started that way back in, it would have been probably the mid-'70s that he was doing that. And he's kind of been in the greens industry. Had lead landscape with my Uncle Al, who still has that great business as well, and does landscaping services, which is one thing we don't really do. Is he has that niche for doing all those hardscapes, and I'm sure you've seen some of his projects around the community. Fast forward, and I can remember even as a kid growing up, we lived on Elm Place, and we had a shop out. It's been on Euclid Extension, kind of one of those buildings behind the Moose that's still there. And I can remember just as a kid running around there, probably. OSHA was to come in now and doing things I probably shouldn't have been doing on the property. But I can remember even back then, it's always been family business, and that's something that we continue to preach. It's in our core values, and like the Mayor alluded to, we've really seen a lot of growth over the last 50 years, and a big portion of that definitely is the community of Princeton, how well they've supported us and has really been our base for clientele and services, and really helped us to grow. Now we serve about a 70-mile radius. We go all the way down to Peoria, and we go as far north of Dixon, west of Geneseo, out to Morris. So we do service quite a large service area, and we do have quite a offering, but really we specialize in arboriculture, tree care. We have 8 certified arborists on staff, and we have about 20 or 22 licensed operators that operate in either turf care or lawn care, and those are state licenses we keep up every year. And the growth has been something that's been, like all businesses, it's been a lot of fun to be a part of. I myself was in the business, high school, worked summers, nights, pretty much all the time, even in college. I can remember my dad getting hurt and having to come back, basically working 3 or 4 day weekends, and then going back to college for 3 or 4 days and then coming back. So it is truly something that I have an appreciation for, and the sacrifices that my family's made, and that I've learned and appreciated over time as well. And so now we employ almost 40 people. About 2/3 of us actually live in either Princeton or the surrounding rural area. So it is really neat to be a part of that, and to see that even though our business is in Princeton, we still are contributing a lot to the community. And I will say even now, especially on the tree care side, my uncle and my cousin Brian and Dennis are on the tree board, which has done fantastic things, and I use the council have really supported them. I know they've made a lot of strides, and the city has been great in that process, and it's amazing to just see all the care that's going on and is being put into something so important that really is passion of ours. in our family, and we really just we hope that we have another 50 years or more, and Princeton's always going to be our base, always our headquarters. We're even right now in the works of trying to put another location in East Peoria. If we had a city council that was probably as easy to work with you guys, we'd already be there. But we've had some hiccups along the way, but hopefully getting over those hurdles. And it's really been a great thing to see over the last 10 years of me coming back and being a part of this family business again. And I really do just want to extend our appreciation to the community of Princeton and how much you guys have supported us, both the city council and the constituents of Princeton, without whom we definitely wouldn't even exist. And so I just want to say thank you to you and to my parents and to all of our employees. We are a family business, and we live, sweat, and breathe family. And I think that it's something to be said about Princeton is a very family-oriented community, and it just draws you back in. I mean, I lived in Chicago, went to school there, was out of Princeton for probably over 15 years. If you would have asked me, 12 years ago, I would have told you I was never going to come back to Princeton, but there's something about Princeton that brings you back. The people, the community, they wanting to raise kids in a community like this. It's something special that we have here, and so I hope that more people can continue to see that, and we just grow as a community and come alongside you as our business and continue to grow as well. So I appreciate all your time tonight, and just want to say thank you again.
Great. Any questions for council? Comments?
I guess from the city standpoint, we'd say thank you to you guys, because you do not only donate a lot to some of our projects, but the trees and some of at the rate that we're getting for the price is just it's phenomenal that you guys are contributing to the project. So every time we got an issue with lights uptown or whatever on the trees up there, they're fixed right away. So
I appreciate that. It's definitely a testament to our staff, because they're always, they're pushing me honestly for opportunities to donate in the community and other things, and so I love them pushing me in that way. So.
I can't imagine the dinner discussions, though, don't have some talk about wrestling for your fans.
It's funny you say that, because I just came from a basketball game at Logan that I was coaching my oldest son. But my youngest is already, he definitely is already on the wrestling path. And we definitely have a heritage there. So, yeah.
Well, your dad was the first dare officer in Princeton.
He was, yeah. I meant to bring that up, too. Yeah, he was the first dare officer. And I can remember, growing up as a kid with a dad as a police officer and his mom as a teacher, there's not much I got away with. Straight arrow, exactly.
I love it. Very good. Very good.
When they say Taylor's way, they mean it. A family based on integrity. We sure appreciate the Taylor family. And what Teresa was alluding to is the Taylors, we were getting our trees from them, and they said, you know what, we'll just make it simple. We're going to just bill you the trees direct, and it'll be at our cost. So we appreciate what they've done. And that makes our dollars go a lot farther on making those trees go up and down Main Street and now Elm Place, things like that. So, again, thank you very much, Josh, to your family. We appreciate that very much. So we're going to move on now back to the City Council business. Okay, so now we're to old business, and if I could, we're going to briefly discuss 717 North Euclid. And Councilmember McCall wasn't able to be here tonight. He had a family situation where he's working with his parents on something. So the whole point would be is I'd like to have Mike have some input on this. But I just kind of like to explain. We'd asked 3 weeks ago we had our city council meeting and we discussed this home at 717 North Euclid. And I asked Pete if he could just go back and refresh us on these different numbers we have to work with. So Pete provided that, and I don't know if you council members saw those numbers. Mm-hmm. So we have a home that we have to decide how to dispose of it in a good stewardship manner, being fair to the neighbors, being fair to the community, and also hopefully returning some of our investment, because when we take over a home like we did over there on Washington Street, by the time you tear something down and you go to resell it, there's always a lot of costs involved, including attorney fees, but it's for the betterment of the community to do these things. But real quick, I think just tonight we're going to discuss it. We're not going to take any formal action, but just as a review, if we were to sell the home if we were to sell the lot bare, we'd be tearing down the home, and we have some asbestos to remove, which is going to be about $10,000, and then we have the cost of the demolition, which the lowest bid was between $12,000 and $15,000. So we got about $25,000 invested in tearing that home down and then hopefully recouping some of the costs by selling the lot. So the other option would be to sell the home as is and let the next person renovate the home. And one of the things that I wanted to clarify with John Isaacson is if we did the request for proposals where we actually put the house up for sale, we don't have to accept any or all of the proposals or bids if we felt that it wasn't going to be a good match. And John, you confirmed that. Is that correct then?
That would be the case.
Okay.
There are some restrictions, as you're well aware of, on the amount that we have to sell it for.
Okay, correct. So we have an appraised value of approximately $16,000 as it sits right now. So I would just encourage the council, again, we're going to open this up for a little discussion tonight. My thought would be is if we could put the home on the market for sale as it is, and just have a short window of opportunity, let's say 45 days with a realtor marketing the home as it is, and then if the home did not have an acceptable offer within 45 days, we would automatically then go to Plan B, which would be to go ahead and have the remediation done of the asbestos and then have the home demoed with the idea we would be selling the lot. I just drove over there to the house before the council meeting, and the good news is the house is secure, the yard is mowed, and so the home is not, I wouldn't call it a liability right now. I think we've stabilized the situation in so many ways. So if the council would consider 45 days to market the home with a realtor, and if that doesn't work, where we would feel comfortable with the buyer, we would go ahead and demolish the home and then work on Plan B. So any thoughts from the council?
I thought this would be something that would go up for bid, but that's not the case. It will be handed over to a realtor to try and find an owner.
So I think what happens is, like any marketing we do, the city council last year sold 2 properties. They sold a empty lot over by across from Greenfield, and they sold a single-family home just south of the hospital that we kind of re-inherited from the acquisition that OSF didn't want those properties. And that was a situation where those were listed with the local realtor for sale because the realtor has the opportunity to have a network through the local MLS system that actually goes all the way to Chicago. I don't know if we put a sign in the yard, if that's going to get the job done, but yet at the same time, the fire department just sold a brush truck, and they did very well. We know the return they did over 60 bids on that brush truck, so maybe we need to have the fire department sell the house. 60 bids on that, correct? 64 bids. Wow. So again, I just think that we could certainly try it for the 45 days in the window as advertising, but also soliciting the realtors with maybe a flyer saying if you'd like to have a client bid on this, we'll pay a small fee towards your marketing, something like that. But
I'm going to reiterate what I talked about 3 weeks ago, and that is I have great concern that this property may fall into the hands of another unscrupulous owner who's going to slap a coat of paint on it and rent it out for $350 a month. And the residents that live on North Euclid has spent 18 years watching this building fall apart and get to a point where it is today. I mean, in years past, the city has always stepped up and resolved the problem for the residents and for the community in every case. I don't see why this should be any different than that, Ray. I think that putting it out there in the open market can cause a problem with who might end up buying it. And I would hate to see this get into the hands of someone who's not going to be responsible, because that building is, in my opinion, not fixable. It's got to come down. And I just don't see someone buying it unless they have an idea to rent it out. And that would be horrible that they did such a thing. I think we should do what the city has always done over the years. I mean, over a dozen times that I can recall, where we've secure permission to demolish the building because it's in the best interest of the community, the people that live next door. It's just the right thing to do. It's what cities do. We've always done it. It's an expense. And every municipality has situations just like this. Old buildings are falling apart and they need to come down, and everyone looks to the city to say, what are you guys going to do about it? Well, reselling it is not the answer. We need to take responsibility. We need to say, you're right, yes, it's going to cost us $15,000, but it's the right thing to do. And I will continue to feel that way about this.
Sure. And that's what we're here tonight to discuss. Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate that. Any other council members' thoughts?
I think in the long run, it's always the case is there's always cost to running operations, regardless of what kind of business you're in. And I've been here 18 years, and I've seen that property with all the problems that it has had. I think it's something that Jerry stated. If you just had it for somebody to buy it and sell it, a lot of the landlords that do those kinds of things, they don't really care who moves in. They just want to recoup whatever money they have invested in it, and coat of paint, a few things in it. They're not going to spend a lot of money in it. I think sometimes you have to spend the money to look in the future and say, okay, we did this. You have a safer community from all the issues and all the expenses you can put into a later date. Have to try to do the same thing again. So I think, in my opinion, it would be better just to demolish it and make it green and then sell the lots to your neighbors or anybody else that's interested.
Okay, I appreciate that, Hector.
And I've been approached by neighbors who are willing to buy the lot, by the way.
And that's good stuff. I know that one neighbor is, and we asked Teresa, and I think he's reached out to you, right, Teresa?
He actually reached out to me Friday, and I spoke to him again this morning. He's in Palm Springs, but playing golf, he had to tell me. But he said he wanted to make sure that he was kind of caught off guard that it was going to be talked about tonight, but he just wanted to make sure everybody understood he's 100% interested in the property and just wants it as green space. So.
And he would be a buyer that if we tore the house down, he wants to buy it that way, or do we buy it as the house sits now?
He didn't say he wouldn't one way or the other. He wants to make sure that he can get that property.
Okay. Certainly understand that.
Yeah, got a lot of fanfare and talking about the property itself. Anybody that does make an offer on this is going to spend $10,000 with the abatement anyway. So that's going to be something that they're going to have to eat right away. So I don't think that waiting 45 days or 90 days is going to, or even 6 months or a year for somebody to come along and try to take on this project is going to change anything. And I don't want to, talk badly about this property, but I think it's in the right interest to tear it down and move forward and let somebody else have the land or buy the land.
Okay, I appreciate that. Well, let's do this. Let's keep it simple. I appreciate every council member's comments and input. I must be the eternal optimist here, but anyway, and I've torn a few houses down myself. I know how it is. So if we could, in the spirit of continuing to move forward with this, then I would say that, I know we won't be taking formal action tonight. The consensus is we'll go ahead and have a resolution drawn for the next council meeting where we will go ahead and tear down the home. And maybe we don't even need a resolution. We just give authority to Pete so that the city is going to do that.
John, I don't think they have to do a resolution on this, do they?
It is ours, right?
It is ours.
Okay.
We have the deed.
Okay. Don't want to tear somebody else's down. I wouldn't think so. That'd be in the normal course of events, dealing with our own property.
So the resolution eventually would come when we go to sell the lot.
Yes,
Okay,
that's
very good.
true.
Okay, Jerry, I appreciate your comments and passion towards this, and the other council members, I appreciate your input. So let's go ahead and move forward then, Teresa, with the plan of tearing down that home, going through the vendors that you can weed out to get us our best price on, hopefully maybe even asbestos. We never know what we can do on that. So, okay. Very good. Thank you, council members. Appreciate your input. Appreciate your dialogue. I don't know if there's any other old business. Okay, we're going to go on now to new business. New business. Okay. Okay, additional public comment. Anybody would like to say anything else to the council this evening?
I would like to say something. First off, I would like to say happy 240th birthday to the United States Marine Corps, which is November 10th.
Which is my birthday, by the way.
All right, we can celebrate. And also, to all the veterans that are out there, thank you for your service and your sacrifices, not only to them, but all those that have stuck with them and their families. Because without the family, a lot of times, our veterans are nobody. So thank you, everyone, family, veterans, and veterans of trust. Thank you.
Thank you, Hector. That's so true. The family is an integral part of supporting the man or woman that wears that uniform. Very good. Okay, with that, we'll go ahead and, Jerry, if you would please, adjourn the meeting.
I move that we adjourn our regular meeting this evening and reconvene for our next council meeting on Monday, November 20th, 2023, 6 o'clock at City Hall.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Gomez.
Aye.
McCransky.
Aye.
Mayor Mabry.
Aye. This meeting is adjourned. Thanks for attending.
Anybody else that creative.
Not for me, my neighbor.
Yeah, if you got anybody else, one of your friends or something, I'll have.
I'm sure you do.
I'm glad to. We'll run Peter and all.